Welcome everybody to GoLocal Live. I'm Josh Fenton, CEO and co-founder. It's a big day. It's Wednesday. It's Mott and Chace Day. We've got Josh Cullion on. He's got big news coming out of downtown Providence. Josh, thanks so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. So you're sort of the king, I believe it's king, I believe it's royalty, I believe it's a monarchy of downtown Providence, especially condos. Talk a little bit about the new project that's coming on the market. It's a big deal because it's just so infrequent that these projects come available.
It is. I'm excited to announce 225 Weybosset Street condos at PPAC Square. I don't think you can get in a better landmark location, quite frankly. So it's super exciting, and we just launched 3 of the 12 residential units last week. It's been Grand Central Station over there relative to the activity, interest, and we're off to the races. It's fantastic.
Yeah, listen, it's somewhat of a famous building built in the 20s. It was originally called the Winslow Building back in the day, and then got revamped. And it really has everything for everyone. It is right between PPAC, so you can go and see, Jackson Browne or Van Morrison or Broadway plays, or on the flip side, if you need redemption, Grace Church is on the other side of it. So you've kind of got coverage no matter how you live your life for entertainment or redemption, right?
1,000,000%. I got to remember coining that phrase there, but absolutely. You could roll out of bed and go to either or both.
That's right. Depending on how the night went before at PPAC, you need to go to Grace Church the next morning. These are unique units in that, one, there's a variety of sizes, everything from down to small studios for under 200,000, but up to some significant size units. Talk about the size of the units, the diversity of them, and the prices, because I cannot imagine that at some of the prices, they're going to last particularly long.
Yeah, bingo. And I don't think they will, based on the activity and the interest, but price point for everybody and everyone, every shape, size, and budget, quite frankly. The lowest priced unit at 179,000, it would fetch $5,000 a month in New York City, with it being 258 square feet and tiny, but it's a perfect pied-à-terre or sort of hotel alternative to someone to have a place that they can hang their hat downtown. Multiple studio spaces inside the building, and shape sizes 300, 400, 500 square feet, your traditional 1 bed, 1 bath. And then, yes, we do have one amazing unit. It's a 2 bed, 2 bath, the fillet of the building, if you would, with an amazing view of the Superman building and the city skyline. And that hit the market last week, and it looks like it's going to be coming off fast, not to be a spoiler, but it was sort of a feeding frenzy on that one, rightfully so. But there's plenty of other options that'll be coming on the market in the weeks ahead that are just as fantastic. So.
And this property got redesigned by Kite Architects, kind of a preeminent Providence architectural firm. Just looking at, I've not been in, but I've seen the photos in the Matterhorn tour of it. It looks pretty spectacular.
They did an amazing job, and I tip my hat to the developer. It's a known name who I've again worked with before, and we've been on this platform together last year? 32 Custom House, Ash, New York, NYC, who of course had their hand and responsible for the Dean Hotel, amongst other properties they've redeveloped here in the city. They always do an amazing job, Ari and his team, and I commend them on another fantastic project and vision to sort of continue to renovate, rehabilitate buildings that were previously vacant here in downtown, and 225 Weybosset Street, of course, was one of them. I think that was sitting quiet and vacant for a couple of decades just before they developed.
That PPAC area has kind of got a little bit of juice to it right now. Those units going on, there's 4 commercial units on the first floor. Those have done well. You've got obviously PPAC constantly, reinventing itself and reinvesting in itself. Lynn Singleton and his team are remarkable. And then you head over just a block, obviously the church, which had built on that beautiful event space with the copper and glass work. And then you've got Hotel Providence. So there's a lot of sort of positive energy right in that, really, it's just a one block area.
It absolutely. And to touch upon that, in addition, you've got Ellie's, who just relocated, but they're still in the neighborhood, just a block and a half away on the corner of Union and Westminster. You have the new Mexican cuisine restaurant that just opened, which I'm going to be trying this week on Union Street. So there's a recharge of energy and hustle and bustle, which is awesome to see, of course, for the neighborhood, and revitalization continues. So it's positive. And shout out Little City Coffee, which is Dave does an amazing job there, and that's almost essentially directly across the street from 225 Weybosset on Mathewson. Best probably fresh egg breakfast sandwich you can get in the state right now, as far as I'm concerned. So
I've never had one. I must try it out. It's only
I think you should.
3 blocks away from GoLocal in the Turk's Head building. So,
there's no excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You're anticipating these are gone in a short period of time.
Based on the feedback and the interest out of the gate here, and it's reminiscent, of course, of 32 Custom House. I think market conditions, Josh, are similar or parallel in terms of when Custom House was launched in the very, very end of the fourth quarter of 2022. Really, it was the beginning of last year, 2023.
Right.
Those sold out fairly fast, and I'd like to expect that 225 Weybosset it's gonna be the same in terms of that kind of result.
It is Fed Day, which has now almost become like a national holiday, right? It's ranks higher than Victory over Japan Day, above Pi Day. It is now Fed Day. Are you a 25 basis point guy or a 50 basis point guy?
I lean to the former. I think it's going to be maybe 0.25 and easing into the potential of maybe an extra quarter being reduced towards the end of the year or beginning of next, if I could be so bullish. But it's mark your calendar. It's today. It's also National Cheeseburger Day, supposedly, from what I heard through the bullpen here at the office. But the Fed, it'll be interesting to see what their decision is. I believe they're supposed to make a decision by 2 p.m. Eastern today, and then of course Jerome Powell is going to be on the microphone shortly thereafter with sort of a debrief. And the rate has been its highest. The benchmark rate right now is its highest it's been for the past 23 years, and the last cut was 4 years ago,
right,
when we were sort of in the start in the pandemic. So it's a tightrope walk. We've talked about it before. It's very ambiguous to me as to what's going to happen in the climate, but with the election on top of that as well. So a lot of things going on with the economy.
I've got one follow-up. Does the 25 basis point so disappoint Wall Street that we see the market whine and complain and drop 700 points? Or is it, regardless if it's 25 basis points or 50 basis points, is it all kind of baked in already?
It's an awesome follow-up question. I feel like it probably kind of sort of baked in already. On a macro level, I don't know if it's as profound, but it's sort of a start towards the extra 0.25%. I think maybe the goal behind the curtain is 0.5%. If I were to speculate, right, to kind of make some type of adjustment or movement. But with inflation and everything else that's going on, with the economy, a tightrope walk. You can't be too fast to pivot or knee jerk, and baby steps.
Yeah, I will quote John McLaughlin from the once McLaughlin Group, a Rhode Islander, who would be wrong. They don't want to look political. They're only going 25 basis points. They don't care about anything else. So median price of a single family home is $491. It's been up to $499 in the last couple of months. We're in that sort of $490 range. No relief in sight, and even with these rate cuts, we're probably to see so much new buyers coming into the market hoping for better pricing that we're going to push pricing up, right? Are we going to bust over 500,000 before the end of the year?
I think there's a very good chance of that, quite frankly. I don't think it's going to be Disneyland out there for months and years to come, but I'm hedging north of just over $500,000 for the median price. And, again, for what it's worth, I don't see a huge swing in the pendulum to a balanced market where the absorption rate shakes out, and it's more of a balanced buyer-seller market. I think it's just going to be status quo for quite some time. I don't think that's a negative comment or outlook. It's just, I think the reality of all the other variables involved that we have touched upon in previous conversations and this one, economically, globally, what's going on with the job market in the sector there. So, yeah, interesting times.
Josh Cullion, all, congratulations on this new project. We'll have all the details and all the links up later today, and always appreciate you taking the time and joining us. For everybody else, stay tuned. It has been, I cannot believe it's only Wednesday morning. It has been a rock and roll week. We had drone footage up over the dust emissions coming off the Washington Bridge demolition. Pretty serious environmental and health issue. If you go in to look at that article, it'll explain some of those issues. And of course, 9/11 workers and emergency responders were affected by that kind of construction dust that comes off projects like this. Also, Providence Schools broke the story yesterday, has a ransomware demand of $1 million against it. Yesterday, we broke the story later in the afternoon on the Washington Bridge demolition being shut down because of issues regarding the preserving the evidence. Read into that one. It's as intriguing and conflicted and confusing as possible. Only in Rhode Island story. Stay tuned for things up and down the afternoon and into the evening. Appreciate everybody and stay safe out there. Thanks, everybody.